Hope in the Shadows recalls Christ's journey to the cross by examining the shadows of betrayal, injustice, and agony that marked that journey. It contrasts the selfish exploits of humanity with the divine nature of a loving God. As you take this sacred journey without our choir and orchestra today, may the readings of this cantata be a time for reflection and a reminder of the hope which is ours. Lighting 7 candles during the opening narration and extinguishing one after the conclusion of each of the 7 sections will enhance our worship service. The relighting of the Christ candle at the end signifies the hope of the coming resurrection.
Shadows are created when something obstructs a light source. We have all stood in the shadows, longing for the warmth and radiance of a nearby light. In this hour, as we again navigate the rugged path to the cross, stepping in and out of the shadows of its sacred history, let us be reminded that Jesus is the light to all people that darkness cannot overcome. For it is in Christ alone that we find hope. He is the source of everlasting light, our strength and our song. Jesus Christ is our eternal hope in the shadows leading to the cross.
Shadows are created when something obstructs a light source. We have all stood in shadows, longing for the warmth and radiance of a nearby light. In this hour, as we again navigate the rugged path to the cross, stepping in and out of the shadows of its sacred story, let us be reminded that Jesus is the light to all people that darkness cannot overcome. For it is in Christ alone that our hope is found. He is the source of everlasting life, our strength and our song. Jesus Christ is our eternal hope in the shadows leading to the cross.
After finishing the meal and singing a hymn together, Jesus and his disciples went to a place called Gethsemane, where he asked his friends to keep watch while he prayed. quiet shadows of the garden, Jesus struggled with the grim prospect of the fatal trial to come. He begged his Father to relieve him of this burden, but knew that there was no way that he could be spared the agony of his destiny.
Father, I come on bended knee. Father, please let this cup pass from me. Oh, Father, have you forgotten me? Pleading here at Gethsemane. Father, can you hear me pray? Father, how could you let this be? Father, why have you forsaken me? Oh, Father, see what they've done to me. Crucified, dying on Calvary. Father, can you hear me pray? Not my will, but thine be done. Pray God's only Son. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. Father, Father, I commend myself to you.
The road to the cross was marked by temptation and guilt. Jesus challenged his disciples to pray that they not fall into temptation. Yet, for 30 pieces of silver, Judas was tempted to betray Jesus. To save himself, Peter was tempted to deny that he knew his teacher and friend. These and so many instances foreshadowed the words of Jesus, soon to be spoken from the cross. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Jesus was arrested and taken before the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, where he was accused by the priests and elders. He made no attempt to defend himself, and Pilate handed him over to the angry crowd to be executed. They mocked Jesus by making him wear purple robe and crown made of thorns. Pilate, painfully aware of the monumental injustice that had been done, washed his hands and declared himself innocent of Jesus' blood.
Mocked, falsely accused, beaten, and sentenced to death, Jesus, the tangible expression of God's great love, was nailed to a cross between two robbers to die a criminal's crucifixion. In a final act of love, Jesus humbled himself and became obedient to death, even death on a cross.
It was now about the 6th hour, and darkness came over the whole land, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last. Greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends.
When the centurion saw all that had happened as Jesus died, he exclaimed, "Surely this was the Son of God." As evening approached, a man from Arimathea named Joseph, having received permission from Pilate, came and took the body off the cross. He wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and placed it in his own tomb that he had cut out of the rock. The words of Isaiah had been fulfilled on the cross that day. He was pierced for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed.
We stand forgiven at the cross. The gift of life made available to us because of the death of Christ brings hope to the shadows of our lives, light into the dark world. So let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him, enduring the cross, scorning its shame, and now sits at the right hand of the throne of God.